30 years. Jesus, when you say it like that.
You wonder where it went?
Hold up.
Canada be damned. I'm going to the Klondike.
The Klondike is Canada.
Giorgio, you be doing just fine, brother.
I'm going to give it to you straight. I may have bit off more than I can chew. Taking on such a revered classic like Frank Darabont's The Shawshank Redemption is a daunting task in itself. Although I love the film immensely, there's no question that covering this classic requires me to fill some rather big shoes. Being considered the greatest film of all time by many, second arguably to The Godfather, the internet's opinion, not mine, I cannot help but shake this feeling that I absolutely have to get this right. But time is of the essence with its 30th anniversary already passed, and I can't afford to drag my feet any further. I simply have to put my nose to the grindstone and write. So that's what I'm going to do. The Shawshank Redemption begins with white-collar banker Andy Dufresne, played by Tim Robbins, who's quickly tried and convicted for the murder of his wife and her lover. Sentenced to life in prison, Andy is taken to Shawshank Correctional Facility, a place most would agree isn't the prettiest place in the world.
Hey, Red. How'd it go?
Same old shit, different day.
Yeah. And how you feel? I'm up for rejection next week.
I ain't supposed to be here. Not me.
I ain't gonna count to 3. I'm not even gonna count to 1. You will shut the f*** up or I'll sing you a lullaby.
Please.
Man, shut
Please.
up. Hey. Anybody come at you yet? Anybody get to you yet? Hey, we all need friends in here. I could be a friend to you. Now, I'm gonna open my fly, and you're gonna swallow what I give you to swallow.
Don't suppose it would help any if I explained to them I'm not homosexual.
Neither are they. You have to be human first. They don't qualify.
Put your trust in the Lord. Your ass belongs to me.
Jesus, prison sucks. Once at Shawshank, Andy befriends prison veteran Red, played by Morgan Freeman, a man who plays a very unique role at Shawshank.
There must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer, if that's your thing, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation, damn near anything within reason.
Andy and Red make the most of their remaining years in the company of each other, while trying to traverse the prison hardships of other inmates, corrupt guards, and a warden that's perhaps one of the evilest villains in cinema history.
Give him another month to think about it.
Yeah, prison definitely sucks. If The Shawshank Redemption is indeed one of the best films ever made, what makes it so? For starters, our leads, Robbins and Freeman, are obvious answers to this question. Robbins plays a bright fish out of water who always seems to have a quiet ace up his sleeve, which by its nature brilliantly forces you to question as the film goes on whether Andy is in fact guilty of his crime, and whether or not Andy will show his hand completely.
My wife used to say I'm a hard man to know. Like a closed book. Complained about it all the time. She was beautiful. God, I loved her.
I could see why some of the boys took him for snobby. He had a quiet way about him. A walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here. He strolled, like a man in a park without a care or a worry in the world. Yeah, I think it would be fair to say I liked Andy from the start.
Morgan Freeman, on the other hand, is the flip side of that coin, With 20 years prison time over Andy, Red is a seasoned inmate at Shawshank and has come to terms with his situation. His acceptance and experience have groomed him into the man he is, which has allowed Red to break free from the metaphorical chains of prison to be more free-spirited man of the street who knows what's what.
Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you ask.
You gonna fit right in. Everybody in here is innocent. Did you know that? Hey, what you in here for?
Didn't do it. Lawyer me.
Yet despite this, Red has his own quiet nature to him too. Unlike Andy, Red's silence is doused in melancholy in a way only Morgan Freeman can convey. And unlike Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman has the added task of narrating with such poetic cadence it brings an absolute rich depth to his silent acting. So much so, it should make no question why Freeman's narration is nothing if not iconic.
I've had some long nights in stir. Alone in the dark with nothing but your thoughts, time can draw out like a blade. That was the longest night of my life.
Although they may not be birds of a feather, these two flock together in a way that most strange bedfellows of cinema work. Andy is textbook smart, whereas Red has the street sense, and this makes for such an entertaining dynamic.
Count of Monte Cristo.
That's Cristo, you dumb shit.
By Alexandre Dumas. Dumbass.
Dumbass. Dumas. You know what that's about? You'll like it. It's about a prison break.
Well, we ought to file that on the educational too, oughtn't we?
Obviously, Frank Darabont deserves just as much praise as his film's leads. Although the plot moves quickly, Darabont takes a more conservative approach to his choices. The cinematography by renowned DP Roger Deakins isn't flashy, but it remarkably captures the darkness of the human soul, as well as the brightness of the human condition. By filming in trapped spaces with such scope, Darabont's choices lend themselves to this idea of confined eternity. And even though years pass within the film, it actually feels like it, without using easy gimmicks like bold and recognizable costume choices to get the point across. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my beloved Thomas Newman, who created his career's most powerful score, a score which, despite having lost at the Oscars, has been used in countless trailers since because it simply stays with you.
It's in here. In here. That's the beauty of music. They can't get that from you.
Although there is that scene on the roof which has the rhythm of a TV commercial, so much so it feels like it should have a jingle to follow which should be shouted from the rooftops.
If you want to keep all that money, give it to your wife. The IRS allows a one-time only gift to your spouse for up to $60,000.
Bullshit. Tax-free?
Tax-free. IRS can't touch 1 cent.
800-588-2300 Today.
We're coming to the end, and although I've only scratched the surface on a classic film that could be explored to the end of time, time is something I have little of. But if you have the time, The Shawshank Redemption is more than worth some of yours. Not merely because I say so, or for reasons I've listed, but because real greatness can't be summed up and confined into a nice, neat box.